are now listening to Championship on the Line podcast with Rich, and I'm Alex. And today we got very special guests here today in Lucha Talk. We got a tag team that, in my opinion, they're the hottest thing right now, especially they're killing it what they're doing in Championship Wrestling from Memphis. We got Zay Washington, the chosen one, Zay Washington, and also the problem child, Aaron Roberts, the young goats, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, guys, for taking the time to do this. It's an honor to have you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. So, with everything going, especially last year, it's been such a crazy year of COVID and everything happening. How's it been for you guys and over there in Tennessee? How's it been over there with COVID happening?
Tennessee is kind of like the Wild West. They don't necessarily follow the rules. So for a while, it was pretty wide open. It started, they cracked down for a while, but we weren't out of work for too long. I'll say that.
Yeah, I was going to say, at first, when it first hit, it was kind of, rough for me because it was hard getting bookings when stuff like that happened. Mm-hmm. But as everything started to open more back up, everything fell in place.
That's awesome. And also, having your first match back since with COVID, how did it feel to come out for the first time with an audience?
Well, for me, it felt great. My first show back after COVID, I wrestled in my hometown and got to do a couple things for them for a couple weeks. And it was pretty much awesome to me. The crowd was ready to see wrestling again. Just made me even more excited.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no better feeling than being able to, walk out and have people in the palm of your hand, Mm-hmm. So we couldn't do that. You could just tell there was something missing.
That's awesome. So we're talking about, you guys have been killing it over there in Memphis, and the match you guys are putting out there, really exciting. I mean, I've been watching your matches, and you guys are awesome. You guys have such great chemistry in what you guys are doing in the ring. But tell us how it all started for you guys in the beginning. What made you guys want to be wrestlers?
Well, for me, it was just something that that my granddad had just showed me, from a young age. He had showed me wrestling, and I fell in love with it. And I mean, I don't know what it is, but it was something about wrestling I really gravitated towards. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I just everything else that I wanted to do at a certain time, I would just push it aside, and I'd be like, I want to be a wrestler. So that's how it really started for me, from my granddaddy introducing me to it.
I was born in it, man. I'm a second-generation wrestler. My dad does it. Well, technically third. My granddad did it a little. So, my whole family's just involved in wrestling. So it's all I've ever had.
That's awesome. And then, growing up, which wrestlers did you like? Were you guys a big fan of growing up?
I was a big TNA guy. So I was like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, all those guys. I mean, still to this day, Samoa Joe and AJ Styles are my favorite two wrestlers. But
I would have to say, growing up for me, it was Jeff Hardy. That was my favorite wrestler.
Oh, nice.
And then, as more as I started watching it, I got introduced to TNA, which is known as Impact now. And I would have to say the same, like he said, AJ, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, Frankie Kazarian. I mean, it was just a whole different world when I found out about TNA.
That's awesome. And then, did you guys collect any of the action figures, or do you guys play any video games?
Oh man, I got to go ahead and answer this, but man, I was so big of a wrestling fan. I had all the toys, any toy you could think of. I had all the games from a GameCube all the way to still today the PlayStation 4. And for the longest time, I didn't have a bedroom. My bedroom was a wrestling room. I had a mattress and a whole bunch of teddy bears and this little platform I could jump off and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I was kind of in the same boat. So any toy that came out, I wanted. Any game that came out, I played every year. It was just a habit for me and my brother to get the new WWE game every year. I wouldn't
awesome.
say collected,
what was that?
But I definitely had them. I never collected them, really had them and beat them up,
So for both of you guys, who was your go-to character playing the video games? And then also, what was your favorite action figure?
I would have to say playing the game, my go-to character was like Triple H or Undertaker, for the simple fact, like they were so unbeatable. I knew if I picked one of them two, I would never lose. So that's who I went to, like, playing the video game wise, but playing with like wrestling action figures, I have to say I usually play with like Randy Orton a lot, like young Orton.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's who I play with the most.
I played with all of the smaller guys. I was always like Rey Mysterio, Paul London, Brian Kendrick. I played with all the smaller guys so I can move around fast. Or like I've always been super creative, so I was all about creating custom superstars, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had Thunder G, I had the franchise.
That's awesome. But and especially with now, you guys are tag team and you guys are killing it. What like first off, like what school did you guys go to train at, and also how was it training too, going into for the first time wrestling school?
Well, for me, my situation is a little different. I really didn't go to a school, but there was an age, I think it was like 9-ish, maybe 10. I was starting to fade away from wrestling for the simple fact, I was getting older and I learned more about it, and I really wasn't, invested in it anymore. And then my dad had came to me with an opportunity. He was like, look, I got an opportunity for you to train to be a wrestler. Agreement him and a wrestler made, under the table. I don't know what the agreement was, or I don't want to get into it like that, but I just know that the agreement came, and I was like, well, I don't even know if I want to wrestle. He was like, look, just try it. If you don't like it, you can quit. I was like, all right. So it wasn't really a school, but I wasn't the only one training. It was like 5 of us. And mind you, at the time, I'm like 11 years old. Everybody else is 21, 22, 23, early 30s, all that. And when I got in there, I fell right back in love. And yeah, it was, some stuff came natural, like, falling and stuff like that from watching it. So I already knew basically some of that, but everything else just pretty much came natural. And out of everybody that was there, I was the only one who stayed as an 11-year-old. Everybody else quit.
Wow. That's awesome.
My story is super similar. I started off with like the under the table thing. So when I was right around 11 as well, I told my dad I wanted to start training. He told me he wasn't going to do it. So then I talked to Sarge O'Reilly. So I trained under Sarge O'Reilly and Anton LaVey for a while. I was training with all the guys that were wrestling on the shows. Back then it was UCW in Union City, Tennessee. It's dead and gone now. But I trained with all those guys that was on those shows. I learned from a lot of guys. But like I said, started at 11, man. So, and there was all the adults getting beat down.
And also, what was it like also the training and taking you guys' like first bump? Like, how was it like taking that at 11 years old?
Well, like I said, for me at first it came natural. Like they was like they had us all lined up outside the ring. I remember like it was yesterday. And I was all right, we're gonna do back bumps. And then our trainers at the time, which was 3 people, it was a guy named Big Brad Simpson, his son Jay Rage, and his daughter Stephanie, who goes by the $1 Million Baby. So they showed us what a bump was, and it's like, all right, one of y'all gonna get in, give me 4 bumps. Everybody else, I think I was like 3rd or 4th. I knew I wasn't first, but everybody was messing up. And then I got in there and I was like, bump. It was like, good, another one, bump. It was like, good, another one. I just kept doing it. And it was like, that really came easy to me, the bumping part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember like my first bump. I just remember because I was falling down in the ring since I was born, But I remember my first day of training, we ended by everybody doing a flip bump off of the top rope. I was terrified. I'm still terrified of heights, so I don't go up there very often. But they made me do it. And as soon as I landed, it was the last bump I took. They said, good job, roll out. I went, sat in a chair in the crowd and cried because it hurt so bad.
Wow. It's just crazy to think about, like, you guys started at such a young age. It's crazy because, like, I know in California, like, they don't allow to, like, you're 18. So it's crazy you guys started such at a young age. Tell us how long you guys have known each other. When and how did you guys first met?
Well, I'm gonna let him tell the story too, but I'm gonna tell you what I remember. I just remember I really didn't know him like that until I think it was a benefit show, and his name was brought up, and I was supposed to work him. And it was like, he's the same age as you, he's real good, this and that. I don't remember the match at all, but I remember after that it was more like, hey, you can work, and that type of thing. We really never talked until we start working each other again, which was like years later. And when we started working each other years later, I mean, I guess it was what everybody wanted to see. So it led from us working each other to us being like, hey, we got some type of chemistry. Let's see if we can form a tag team out of it.
Yeah, so my side's pretty spot on too. Like, because he grew up in this company, I grew up in this other company. So, like, of course, we knew of each other because of social media and everything. And we, like you said, at that benefit show, I think it was a 6-man tag. We had like very little together in that match, and I just remember it was pretty solid. And then years later, I was doing all this and that, and then I finally separated myself from the tag team I was in, became the Problem Child, Aaron Roberts. I said the guy I want to wrestle is Zay Washington. The company TIWF in Trenton, they seen it, they made it happen. Then everywhere else started making it happen. So we were already on the road together. Might as well save some beat down on each other, Start a tag team.
And also, like, whose idea was to be a tag team? Who came to who first to be the Young Goats? And then who created the name the Young Goats?
I think it was a mutual thing. It was a pretty mutual thing. Like, we both seen it come, and I don't remember specifically who started the idea, but as soon as it was said, we were both on board for it. As far as the names, they came up with the name. I don't know exactly how. I know we jacked it from Myron Reed.
So I was the one who wanted to do the tag team thing. Like, I had did singles for so long, and I was watching I believe it was Justin Credible. I was watching his podcast, well, one of his interviews, my bad, and they asked him about talent struggling to get out. Like, because me and him been wrestling for a long time. We just now getting out about. Well, for me, it was like 2 or 3 years ago. And he was talking about if you really want to separate yourself, if you can get a good tag partner, create a good tag team, it'll make you stand out. Because there's a whole lot of great single wrestlers. But I mean, in all honesty, there ain't a lot of great tag teams. Mm-hmm. So that kind of hit me hard. And I was talking to my best friend, his name Brandon. I was like, man, what if I did a tag team thing? And he was supposed to be my tag partner, but he messed up his knee and stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, it could work and all that. So I was just like on the low. I mean, I wasn't telling nobody about it, but I'm just looking at different people like, okay, could we fit as a tag team? Could we fit as a tag team? And I really couldn't find nobody until me and Aaron started working. And then we started working. I'm like, this guy's like 300 pounds and move like he's 220. And he's so fluid in the ring. I'm like, this could be the guy right here. And then it was like a little thought in the back of my head, like maybe he don't want to do the tag thing because he just got out of the tag team. But I pitched it to him, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. And we became a tag team. And the Young Goats thing, I don't know why, but it was stuck in my head. I was like, Young Goats, that sounds cool. And I told him about it. He was like, ain't that Myron's name? I was like, dang. So I was like, I'm sure he'll let us use it. He was like, I don't know, bro. He was like, you might want to talk to him. I was like, all right, I got it. So I text Myron. I was like, hey, what's up? Shooting a small talk. And I was like, I'm thinking about creating a tag team. You mind if we go by the Young Goats? I was like, I know you go by the Young Goat, but we don't want to step on your toes or anything. He was like, nah, bro, you totally fine. It was like, it's just a name. He was like, you got it. If you want to do it, use it. So I was like, say less. And that's how the Young Goats came about.
That's awesome. Because you guys, like, when I see you guys in the ring, you guys have such great chemistry together, and you guys work really well together. Both of you guys do. And, how was it the first match together? How was it for the first time walking out together? And did it take time for you to gain that chemistry, or did it all kind of came natural?
I mean, it was kind of there. Like I said, we were working a bunch against each other, so we knew what each other do, and we know the timing, right? So we just had to figure out how to put that together.
Mm-hmm.
Before our first match, we were in the ring 2-3 days a week, working on getting our timing together. So pretty much when we came out that first time for the first match, it was in Trenton. The chemistry was there, man. It was hype. We felt it, and then it's been the same since. Every time we go, there's to me, there's nobody doing it like us.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. Alex and I were watching your matches, and that's the key word in your matches: chemistry. You guys are so fluid together in the ring, and you guys are such a young tag team. Is there any advice you give to single wrestlers that want to form a tag team and get into that division?
Well, for me speaking, like I said, this is the first serious tag team I done been in. But for a singles guy who's trying to get in a tag team, take your time, make sure you choose the right partner, because a lot of people don't understand in a tag team, it's for real 50-50. If you're there and your partner not there, your partner left you high and dry. So you got to pick somebody dependable, somebody with a hard work ethic, somebody who's going to come and bring it each day and every night. So that's my little advice to guys who singles right now trying to do a tag team. It's make sure you find the right guy or the right female, or if there's a women tag team or something.
Yeah, it's pretty. That's it really. You got to find the person that has the same goals as you. Before this team, I've been in several teams. I've been in the Boom Squad with my brother. I've been in the King's Court with Edison Kane. And the goals have just never matched well. So we did good where we were, but it wasn't until me and Zay, who were both, we had the same goal. We both want international television weekly. So now we can both work together to get there.
Mm-hmm. And also, as a tag team, is there any tape, or even as singles too, is there any tape that you guys watch from other wrestlers to get a little bit inspiration from? Even from the mic or even in the ring skills?
Dude, all the time. I find myself watching a lot of old Impact, a lot of old PWG. I'm a huge fan of PWG. That's a goal for me personally. So I watch old stuff from there, all the stuff. I watch the Dudleys a lot. I got a big inspiration from the Dudleys. So I've got plenty of teams. Like I said, I've been in tag for a while, so I've been watching everybody for a minute.
Well, I'm like I said, I know I keep putting it out there, but I'm just new to the tag team thing. So really who I watch, I would have to say would be the Hardy Boys, because growing up I like Jeff Hardy a lot. So you can't know Jeff without knowing Matt. So so watching them kind of, influenced me on doing a little bit of tag things. And I would have to say the Rascals, they known as MSK now, but they pretty cool. And, the way they it's like a brotherhood between them. And I was like, dang, I want to be like that with somebody one day. So them two tag teams are the ones that got me really just, wanting to do tag team. That's who I would watch.
That's awesome. Such great tag teams you guys just listed too. And especially, with, now you guys are doing a lot of things for Chandras from Memphis. How did that come about, you guys going over there, and what is it like working with them, especially guys like Dustin Starr? What is it like working with them?
So it's kind of a funny story, right?
Yeah, it's a funny story.
So of course, we're to the vets, we're two 19-year-old kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
We weren't on Dustin's radar at first. It took probably literally everyone in the locker room telling him, "Hey, you need these guys on your show. You need these guys. You need these guys. You need these guys." And then the week before the first TV tapings, he called us, said, "Could you guys make it?" We're like, "Yeah, of course." So we showed up, we showed out, and now look at us. I'm gonna say we run the tag team division there. So as far as working with those guys, learning under Alan Steele, Austin Lane, Derek King, Johnny Dodson, Dustin Starr, all those guys are super motivating, I guess. And we, anytime you're in a room with those guys, you're going to learn something. It's hard to not learn anything.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, really, I can't just fill in on that. Everything he said was right on the head.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, I'm sorry guys, but like real quick, I'll be honest, I think you guys, both of you guys kind of cut off real quick on answering that question. Is it okay if you guys can answer one more time? Real quick, because I really couldn't hear it a lot.
Yeah, bro.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I gotta ask you real quick. So when did you guys first start going to Chandras from Memphis? How did that come about? You guys going over there, and also how was it like working with guys like with Dustin Starr in that company?
So it's kind of a real funny story. So whenever the company started, we were not on Dustin's radar for whatever reason. I mean, that's fair enough. He's a busy man. He's got a lot going on. But it took probably literally everybody working for that company, working around that company to say, hey, man, you need these two guys on your show because they're next up. He called us like the week before the first TV tapings. Asked us if we could. Of course, we said, yeah. Why would we miss out, you know? So we get there. We did what we were asked to do. We had 7 minutes TV time. We made the best out of that 7 minutes. I've kind of coined us the 7-minute kings of championship wrestling. So we make the best of our 7 minutes, man. Come back through the curtain. All the vets. Austin Lane, Alan Steele, Derek King, Johnny Dodson, even Dustin after the show. Super impressed by everything we did. And now we pretty much run the tag team division.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I remember watching you guys' matches like the Skimmelhorns, the Crowleys, the Russell Twins. Out of all the matches you guys done so far in Memphis, what's your guys' favorite matchup?
Most definitely the Crowleys. That's what I would have to say. Because like in a weird way, it's the same style but a different style, and like our characters are so opposite, but it glues together. Like me and Aaron are like basically when you look at us, we look like the cool kid, the cool seniors in high school. That's the type of people we are. And then you got like these dark, mysterious characters. And like to make it mesh so good, I think that's like very cool, you know. So I would have to say my favorite match is the Crowleys.
It's like those guys are pretty similar, like not only in like in-ring style, but in goals. Like I mentioned earlier, to have a good tag team, you want to have the same goals. To have a great match, you want guys in the match to have the same goals. So they're trying to make their name not only in Memphis but around the world, which is the same thing we're doing. So they're putting 200% into every match, and we're putting 200% into every match. There's no way it's going to be a bad match.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. I think every match you guys have done has been exciting and entertaining. It's pretty much like the match of the night, pretty much. I mean, you guys are doing awesome things. And and then also, who do you guys want to wrestle in Memphis? Is any particular team or anyone you want to wrestle? Or maybe even a rematch?
Give us everybody. The rematch with the Crowleys is something we got to have. But I'll tell you the match we want to have is whatever match we need to have to be the tag team champions. That's the main match we want to have.
That's right. I agree with that. I was going to say, just looking at it, we pretty much don't face every tag team. I think we're missing the Posse and Big Jack and Big Ace, but I'm sure that'll come soon. But anybody will want to work. Like he said, whoever got the tag belts or whoever we got to beat to get the tag belts.
That's awesome. Yeah, I want to see that match. I want to see you guys win the titles. You know, if you guys are listening, book that right now. Okay, Young Goods, they deserve those titles. Get them the title match ASAP. So, and also like talking about, you know, what are you guys' goals as a team? Like, what promotions you want to go? What countries you guys want to travel? Who do you guys want to work with? Any of that stuff. What are you guys' goals as a team?
All the countries and everybody. No, but more specifically, you know, of course we want to wrestle for the bigger indie companies like Glory Pro, Black Label, GCW, even though Zay's already done a little bit with those guys. And we want to take this tag team stuff to Impact. We want to take it to the NWA. We want to take it to the WWE and AEW. We want this is provide. This is our thing. So we want to do whatever we got to do to make this work. At least for me.
If you keep answering all these questions correct, they ain't gonna have no room to talk. But yeah, once again, like he said, everything he said right on the head, bro. Like, yeah, I mean, I can say like some countries I would want to work for, and I'm sure we would be down to work as a tag team. But I want to do something in Japan. With the style of wrestling I wrestle, I would like to do something in Mexico. And I would like to head up north to Canada too. Them are 3 countries I really want to hit before, I can't just hit them like that. So.
UK too, bro. Screw it. Let's go to the UK.
Yeah, UK.
They wrestle in Russia. Watch out, Putin.
That's awesome. And especially like, I know like Aaron, you were saying growing up, you're a big Impact fan. Would that be a top of your list? Would that be a company you would like to go over there and also possibly win the tag team champions?
I don't know if I have a top of my list. I think there's so much opportunity in ROH and Impact and WWE and AEW. There's so much opportunity in all of those companies that, of course, I want to do it all. I want to be the tag team champions of everywhere. I want to take the Dudley Boys titles of the most decorated tag team. I want to take that. Give us New Japan. Give us those titles. I'm not sure what weight class we'd fit in there, but I don't think there is, like I said, I don't think there is a top. I think everywhere is the top.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, of course, there's some companies that might be higher than others, but I feel like with the mindset we have, we're going to try to be at the top and try to be our very best at every company we hit. So whether that's, ROH, Impact, WWE, AEW, yeah, I mean, wrestling's just something we love to do, and we just really want to get there and do it. So I wouldn't say there's a specific top one, but we would love to hit some companies.
Awesome. Like I said, like any company you guys will fit in very well. I don't like if it's AEW, WWE, MLW, ROH. I think any company you guys would be very, very successful because you guys have, like I said, the chemistry's there. You guys you do everything, amazing in the ring. So, you guys are listening. All those companies I just mentioned, you guys listening. Look the young goats up, especially. Especially with everything going on. Are you guys fans of wrestling as of now? Have you guys been watching everything's been going on with AEW, NXT, Ring of Honor? And if so, what are you guys' thoughts on, especially on the product today, what they're putting out?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like throughout the week, I'm so busy, like with work and my son and everything. Like I barely get time to actually watch wrestling. But the way, like if I do watch like highlights on YouTube or something like that, I think each company's getting better and better because it's not so much competition. Like they're trying to compete against each other, but they know something else is out there. So they got to try to put out the best product they can. So I think everything is moving forward, but at a different direction at the same time, because this company doing their thing, this company's doing theirs.
I think I feel pretty similar. I don't watch like full shows. I just, like he said, I don't really have the time for that. But I will go throughout the week. I'm watching matches from all these companies. I think that's just because I'm more of a fan of in-ring wrestling than anything. That's just how I've always been. That's why I like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels. I like those guys because I like the action in the ring. And I feel like in-ring wrestling right now is at the best it's ever been. I mean, I'm sure everybody's going to disagree. People are going to say the 80s are better. The Attitude Era, this is the best all-around professional wrestling that I've ever seen. And that's just me because I care about what happened in the ring. I like to see athletic contests, and that's what wrestling's about now.
Oh, absolutely. Especially like sometimes Rich and I, we even say like right now, wrestling's hot right now. It's best it's ever been. But then you have some of these, a little bit of these older fans like, oh, the 80s were better, the 70s were better, or or the Attitude Era, But yeah, I totally agree. Right now I think wrestling's hot, especially all the companies are working together too, with AEW partnering with New Japan and AAA too. So totally agree. And also real quick, I don't know if we could talk about it, but I've seen you guys post a little bit of pictures of Chandras in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
Is there something you maybe get a little talk about? Anything upcoming there with them?
Yeah, for sure. I believe the shows we film will start airing mid-June. If you follow us on Twitter and stuff, then you kind of could put together what we were there for.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all we can say on that. It was a great experience.
Yeah,
But that's awesome.
You go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Real quick, I just want to ask, like, how was it also stepping in there for the first time to Hollywood? What was that whole experience like?
It was great for me. I was so overwhelmed. I was like, because as soon as I stepped off the plane, we was in Los Angeles at first, but everything seemed so big. Then when we drove to Hollywood, I'm like, are we for real finna wrestle here? Like, this city is where we're gonna wrestle. And then like when we walked through the doors, when we got to the venue, like, I don't know, it was like something I'd never seen before, like with all the big TVs, the way the stage was set up. I mean, it's something that we certainly ain't used to down here, you know what I'm saying?
It was definitely a huge difference in promotion, like than what we're used to. So we're used to like the small town setup, that's what we grew up on for, I guess, 8 years at this point. That's where we were wrestling, So going somewhere like that is super professional. Of course, we've had with the Russell Center in Memphis now, that's a super professional setup. And when we walked into there, we were, a little like, sheesh. I mean, this is how we doing it now. But as soon as we walked into Hollywood, man, it was on a whole different playing field. It was so crazy. So like, I guess like Zay said, overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Especially, because like Rich and I were such big fans of Hollywood. So it's really cool. I can't wait to see you guys over there. Also, what was it like working with the staff? I know like David Marquez is a top guy. He's the charge of Hollywood. What was it like also working with him and meeting him for the first time?
So we actually met him at the first Memphis tapings. He came down and helped with the production of everything. But funny enough, we didn't really work with Dave too much during the tapings. I don't know specifically where he was, but we weren't with him specifically during that. But after one of the tapings, he took us out to Hollywood Boulevard. We went and got some authentic Mexican food. Super fun experience.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Dave, like he said, from the first time we met him in Memphis, it really wasn't too much words exchanged. But when we got to Hollywood, that's really when I got to see how cool he was. I mean, it was a short period of time he was there, but you could just tell like he cared about the business. So, I mean, that's a good vibe. Other people can feel that vibe. So when he cared, of course I already cared, but it made me care even more. I'm like, okay, this is something real. And then like he said, we all happened to meet up and go eat authentic Mexican food, and it was pretty good.
That's awesome. Once again, I can't wait to see you guys make your debut in Hollywood. It's gonna be really fun and exciting. Real quick, thank you guys so much for taking the time to do this with us. Really appreciate it. And it's an honor, guys, to have you guys on. And also, real quick before we start to wrap things up, we do a real quick segment, and it's called the fun questions. Just the fans get to know you a little bit better. We'll ask you some fun questions, get to know a little bit about you guys. Is that cool? We do that for you guys?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Cool.
You want this answer together or separately?
You guys can answer separate.
Okay. All right, so you answer all of them first.
Okay.
So, actually, I'll ask the first question, and one of you guys go first, and then second, and then I'll ask the next question.
All right, cool.
Cool. So the first question: do you guys have you guys have any hobbies outside of wrestling?
Oh, I found that funny because I do, but I don't want to say it. Hobbies.
Anything you guys like to do for fun when you guys are not wrestling?
Sleep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that safe answer. Sleep.
My hobby is sleeping.
All right, awesome. So the next question: do you guys have any rituals you guys do before your match? You guys have any rituals before you step in the ring?
I got 3 steps. I gotta put my baby oil on. I gotta stretch. Then I gotta pray to God.
Oh.
I stretch and then I just start dancing to whatever music's playing before.
Awesome. And then the next question: what is your guys' favorite movie of all time?
Friday. All the Fridays.
You know, it's crazy. We were just watching that like before we were doing this interview too.
Oh man, one of the greatest movies ever.
I'd say Logan. Logan's an
Okay.
insane movie. Either Logan or Avengers Infinity War. I'm a nerd.
Awesome. And then with the next question, what is your favorite? You guys have like a favorite meal, favorite type of food you guys like to eat?
Shrimp Alfredo.
Boys, they didn't have to hesitate. I knew his favorite meal. I don't get to eat it very often, but mac and cheese. Give me all the mac and cheese, please. And any kind of chicken. Any kind of chicken you cook, put it in front of me. I'm eating it.
Nice. I don't think it looks like Zay's not a big fan of mac and cheese. I don't know if
No, not at all. I don't know like what it is about cheese. Like I can eat like Alfredo and stuff like that, but when it comes to actual cheese, if I eat too much, it makes me like real sick. I think I'm lactose intolerant because I don't even like milk like that. I could drink it, but I don't like it. So macaroni and cheese, that's a no-go for me.
All right, awesome. And then with the next question, do you guys have like a favorite like music artist you guys listen to or a band?
I mean, I listen to a lot of people. Like I listen to like a lot of different types of music too. So, I mean, like rap wise, I would have to say like The Baby, Drake, 2 Chainz, Future, Lil Wayne, just like a different lot of people that I like.
My taste is all over the place, but I'll say since he's got an album coming out this month, J. Cole, bro. J. Cole can't beat that.
Nice. And then and also going with the last question, you guys can answer this as a team, or you guys can answer also separately. But if you guys could have a match with a fictional character, it could be from a TV show, anime show, a movie, a video game character. If you guys could have a match as a tag team, but also singles, who would it be?
Anybody?
Yeah, anybody.
All right, well, this question is going to be all out of it. I mean, this answer is going to be all out of this world. All right, so tag team wise, me and Aaron versus LeBron James and Steph Curry.
Ooh.
Man. And single wise, Ice Cube. I want to beat Ice Cube. That's what I want to get.
Ice Cube's a real person.
I mean, I thought he said anybody.
Yeah,
he said from a movie.
I'd like to fight Thanos since we talked about Infinity War. I'd like to fight Thanos. Tag team, give me Bert and Ernie.
Awesome. And then, like you guys just said with those tag team matches, how do you guys see you guys self winning those matches?
Well, to be honest, I don't see us beating LeBron James or stuff. We'll try though.
Bert, Ernie, or
That's all I can
puppets.
say.
So
Huh?
Bert, Ernie, or puppets. So they get to work.
Yeah. I think I can handle the puppies. I don't know about Aaron though.
Awesome. So again, once again, thank you guys so much for taking the time to do this with us. It was very fun to have you guys on. Real quick, if you guys want to plug in where the fans can find you on social media, or you guys have any bookings coming up, you guys can plug it in right now.
On social media, at Facebook, you can find me at Zay Washington. On Instagram, you can find me at Zay Washington 2. And on Twitter, you can find me at Zay Washington 6.
Instagram, the Aaron Roberts. Twitter is Aaron_Roberts01. Facebook, Aaron Roberts. And then coming up next weekend, May the 22nd, we've got American Hostile Championship Wrestling. We're wrestling the Crowleys in front of a live crowd. So that's going to be hyped. Mm-hmm. May the 29th, we got CCW. Zay's got a big 6-man tag match. I've got a big tag team match wrestling Calvin Tankman. So I'm excited about that. And then June is full of crazy stuff too.
All right, awesome. And once again, we'll put a link in you guys in the YouTube video so where you guys can find them. And again, do you guys yourself a favor and please watch all these guys' matches. They put on top great matches and they're fun and exciting. And again, once again, thank you so much for taking the time. I'm honored to have you guys on.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate you guys.
Awesome. And that's going to do it for us with Championship on the Line podcast. Thank you so much for watching this episode. We'll see you guys next time on Championship on the Line.